Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. What's going on, Nisi? So, tonight, we have a game coming up, so I'm going to make sure I get off of here right before the game come on. But this is an NFC East pregame show. I mean, I know the Cowboys are not playing tonight, but why not talk about the Dallas Cowboys? Because this game has me kind of reminiscing. This game kind of has me reminiscing on what if the Cowboys were still in it? What if the Cowboys were still in it? And, you know, the funny thing is, as crazy as it may sound, the Cowboys are mathematically still in it. They are mathematically still in it. What's going on, the Queen? I mean, they're mathematically still in it. I mean, hey, man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. They're at the number 13 spot. I think the problem is they're at the number 13 spot in the playoffs, and I think they're at the number 11th spot in the 2025 draft order. And so I think it's going to definitely be a problem. I think it's definitely going to be a problem as we start looking at these games and talking about draft order and things of that nature. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight if we can get it in. But, I mean, there are so many things going on with the Cowboys. What's going on, Roberta? What's going on, Janie? I mean, there's so many different things going on with the Cowboys. I mean, we don't really know which way they are going. But what I find strange is some of the talk that is still going on around the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I want to give us kind of a quick rundown today. Some of the things that we'll try to get. We're going to try to go through all of these things. We don't have as long as we normally would, but we're going to come back. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a post-game show. That's why I'm doing a pregame show. I didn't do the morning show. I'm doing a pregame show and a post-game show. I really want to see what the temperature everyone has after watching this game tonight. I mean, for me, I'm interested because, number two, I'm interested because of Dan Quinn. I can't help it. I have to say it. I'm rooting against Dan Quinn. What's going on, Jose Cuevedo? I mean, I'm rooting against Dan Quinn. I understand Dan Quinn had reasons to leave the Cowboys, but Dan Quinn not only left the Cowboys, but Dan Quinn tried to take all the players from the Cowboys. I mean, Dan Quinn, it's like Dan Quinn left here with a vendetta, man. And so I really would like to see Dan Quinn get beat today. I can't say I'm a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagle coach either, but he didn't coach with the Cowboys. He didn't try to rob us. So, the ladies are here. I guess just like Jesus on the cross, when all the disciples were in, the ladies were at the foot of the cross. Amen. So, nevertheless, I'm really hoping that the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington Commanders. Because the last thing I want to see is the Washington Commanders, and you can call me a hater all you want to, but I don't want to see the Washington Commanders with a high seed in the playoffs. I mean, I would actually like to see them not even go to the playoffs if you just ask me about it. But nevertheless, the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, they're mathematically, they're just not out of it. They're not out of it. What's going on, Roberta? They're mathematically not out of it. Jose said he hoped Dan Quinn lose again. I am too. I'm hoping that joker lose again. Nisi says, I'm rooting against Dan Quinn and all the Cowboys that went with him. I mean, me too. I mean, I'm hoping they absolutely get knocked off. So I want to give us, we're going to start off, we're going to talk about an update, the injury update, because we're going to give the pregame show for the Cowboys versus the Texans tomorrow. And I'm really torn on doing a Cowboy game, a pregame show for the Cowboys tomorrow, because do we really believe there's anything they can do to win? I mean, I'm sure they can, but I'm sure that the Houston Texans are going to use the Dallas Cowboys as a bounce back game. And so they're going to try to use the Dallas Cowboys to get back on track. But we're going to talk about Dak Prescott. A little bit about Deron Bland, Deion Sanders, Bill Belichick. Got some interesting things I want to talk about with Cooper Rush, Jonathan Mingo, Trey Lance. Then we'll get to the Eagles and the Commanders and the fact that the Cowboys are not mathematically out of it. And I'll move some of the order on this. Ashton Genty, because I'm probably going to talk about that in the beginning. And when I get to Trey Lance, I think I want to talk a few things about something that Trey Lance is saying that I'm like, okay, does Trey Lance know something that we don't know? And so I kind of want to get started with the Dak Prescott stuff. Dak Prescott, and there's something else here too. Now there's something else on the news. So I'm going to try to fit this all in up here on the news part. Because this is blowing my mind, what I just read here a few minutes ago. Let me make sure I can remind myself if I can remember it. Mingo will finally make his debut. Yes. Make his debut on Monday. That's part of what I'm going to talk about. The Mingo package. The Mingo. It's like, we can't just play guys. I mean, we just can't play guys. We got to dramatize everything. It's the Mingo package. So now we have the Trey Lance package, which was, I mean, can we say boring? I mean, they really didn't do anything with Trey Lance other than let him come in and do a couple of read options, which we expected. I mean, I wanted to see something else, some jet sweeps, some throwing it to Trey Lance and with Cooper Rush on the field, letting him throw it down the field. I mean, was it really the Trey Lance package? So when we're talking about the Jonathan Mingo package, I mean, what are we really talking about? I mean, I'm really torn. I just think Mike McCarthy's I just think he's trying to get fired. I'm just wondering if he's trying to get fired. And I just wonder if he steps away from the game. I'm just wondering if he steps away from the game if he loses 3 straight games. I mean, if the Houston Texans torch us, the Giants, with their sorry self, beat us, and then the Washington Commanders straight up tear us limb from limb. I mean, what will Jerry Jones do if those 3 things happen? I mean, because are you going to let like 2 teams out of 3 put up 40 burgers on us? 40 burgers? Niecy said all these fake packages. I mean, it's like crazy with us. It's like, what are all these packages, man? Why does it have to be packages? It's all crazy to me. So let's start it off. Dak Prescott, of course. Dak Prescott's surgery was successful on Wednesday. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk about it, but it's a successful surgery. And so Dak Prescott, I'm thinking, from what I hear, it's like a 3-month rehab. And so I don't understand all the talk about people talking about trading Dak Prescott. I'm confused on the Dak Prescott stuff. I mean, I understand people, the haters talking about trade Dak Prescott. But what I'm not understanding is the possibility of trading Dak Prescott. I mean, I've already talked about it yesterday ad nauseum, and Mike Fisher was talking about it today too, and he kind of let me in on some stuff as I'm watching him. And when you think about Dak Prescott's contract, when you talk about the Dak Prescott contract breakdown, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys at the end of the day, I mean, he was saying that they could get from under the Dak Prescott contract in 2027. I mean, they could literally walk away from the Dak Prescott contract and they could take somewhere around, I guess, the $34 or $27 million hit. But a lot of people don't realize about the Dak Prescott contract, and this is why I say it doesn't make sense, and we're not going to study it at length today, but a lot of people don't understand the Dak Prescott contract and the breakdown of it, because this is the part that Mike Fisher is talking about at why it would be dumb. I mean, even if you walk away from Dak Prescott in 2027, it's literally dumb because, see, it's this number right here. Dak Prescott got somewhere, it all depends on who you ask, somewhere between a $74 million to a $80 million $80-something million signing bonus. So you're not getting away from Dak Prescott's deal. The signing bonus, you're eating that. The money is already in the bank. You can't get this money back. The $80-something million Dak Prescott signing bonus, you can't get that back. So if you play around and say, okay, well, we're not worried about getting that back. And so you say trade, some people say cut. I mean, I actually heard Dan Orlovsky say, cut Dak Prescott and just eat all this cap money. So you're going to lose $80 million in cash. Not only do you lose $80 million in cash, but there is no way you get away from this guaranteed money. Right? I mean, the cap hits right here because Dak is still going to get money. Dak's still going to get money. 2024, done in the books. 2025, done in the books. 2026 is pretty much done in the books because Dak got injured. And there's clauses that click in when you start talking about stuff like this. So you're still going to pay this guaranteed $231 or most of that. You're not getting away from it. You can't get away from the Dak Prescott contract. And I don't even understand why we would want to. You're not getting away from the Dak Prescott contract. Dak Prescott is here to stay. This doesn't even need to be a discussion no more. Dak Prescott is here to stay. I don't understand all the talk. And this is another one of the reasons why, as I start to, they're talking about the Deion Sanders deal again. And the big thing they're talking about with the Deion Sanders deal is that teams are going to try and draft Shedeur Sanders because it'll lure Deion Sanders in. I don't believe it's going to lure Deion Sanders in. I don't think it's going to lure him in because I don't think, one, Deion Sanders does not want to coach NFL football. He said it over and over and over. He doesn't want to coach NFL football. I don't know why people keep talking about that. What's going on, Andre? Yeah, Dak is going to win, and we're going to get to that. I do believe Dak is going to win. Deion doesn't want to coach NFL players. That's number one. Number two, people do not understand. College coaching is different. They treat college coaches like royalty. Deion Sanders right now is getting treated like royalty. I 100% believe Deion when he says he loves where he is. I mean, he might not like Colorado. It's cold up there. It's pretty boring, I think, for the most part. But I believe Deion when he says he likes Colorado because I think he's talking about the situation. I mean, Deion Sanders got carte blanche at Colorado. He can do whatever he want to do. I mean, he can literally do whatever he wants to do. And I'll be honest with you. I want to see what Deion Sanders looks like without Shedeur Sanders, and I want to see what Shedeur Sanders look like without Deion Sanders. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it would be exciting if a team was able to get both Shedeur and Deion, but they better understand something. If you get both Shedeur and Deion, you better also let Deion run the franchise and bring in every coach that he wants to bring in, and you better get ready. Your coaching payroll, if you bring in Deion Sanders, and I'm with you, Andre, this is one of the reasons why I don't think Deion comes in. Because if Deion is going to be on your team, your coaching payroll is going to be off the chart. Because I truly believe that in order for Deion Sanders to come in and be successful, you're literally going to have to give Deion exactly what you gave Jimmy Johnson. You're going to have to give him the coaching staff that he absolutely wants and the coaching staff he absolutely needs. And in order to do that, you're not going to be able to put a salary cap on the coaching staff because Jerry has one of the lowest paid coaching staffs in the league. Deion steps on this team, you no longer have one of the lowest paid coaching staffs in the league. You're going to jump to one of the highest paid coaching staffs in the league because people might not understand it. Deion wants to win. He understands X's and O's. He's not going to try to coach defense. He's not going to try to coach offense. He's not going to let Jerry Jones pick his coaching staff. He's not going to do it. So I don't believe Deion is coming here for that reason. He would want control. He would want control. And he's not going to get that. He's not going to get that in Dallas. Nisi says his coaching will cost as much as the cap or more. Man, I'm telling you, Nisi, Deion is going to want a very expensive coaching staff. And guess what? I'll be honest with you. I don't understand why the most valuable franchise in the world, I understand the salary cap. And Jerry is lying to us even about the salary cap. A lot of people don't understand. The Dallas Cowboys are literally about to have $100 million in salary cap space. They are about to have in excess of $100 million in salary cap space in 2025. It is literally going to be insane. They're talking about the salary cap, the projection for the salary cap. Let's see, right now, we're looking at salary cap space. So the salary cap right now, if you look at it, the salary cap, is $255 million. They're saying the NFL salary cap in 2025, $272 million. So it's going up. What is that? Somewhere around 265. So you're talking somewhere around $17 million. The salary cap is going up. You look at the Dallas Cowboys on this list. Dallas Cowboys have $20 million. They have $20 million right now. Going into 2025, the Cowboys will have $24 million. I have a strange feeling the Dallas Cowboys are going to cut Terrence Steele. That's going to be $13 million. They're going to flip a switch, and this is why I say Dak Prescott is here to stay. Even if he's not here in person, they're going to be paying him into the 2030s. They're going to flip a switch on Dak Prescott's contract. That's going to get them probably an additional 30, 40, 50 million, who knows. They're going to flip the switch on CeeDee Lamb's contract. That's going to give him extra money. And once they sign Micah Parsons, his cap hit for his 5th year will probably be cut in half, if not less. Or if not, it'll be cut in half, if not more. The Dallas Cowboys are literally going to have $100+ million to play with in the 2025 season. And that's why I think the Cowboys, if they want anybody to come here, one, they're going to have to do that. Two, they need to try to start getting draft capital, because I don't think there's no way. People do not understand. When you look at what's going on with the draft order, the more you look at it, the more it doesn't make sense to me. The more it doesn't make sense to me from the perspective of, I don't think, being honest with you, the Dallas Cowboys are so far down in the draft. The Cowboys currently sit at number 11 in the draft. I'll be honest with you. I don't see where the Dallas Cowboys, no matter what happens, in order to get Shedeur Sanders, I don't see any scenario where the Cowboys get to the number 1 spot. Just based on tiebreakers, I don't see a scenario where the Cowboys get to the top. Because I can tell you this, I don't believe Tennessee is going to, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to continue to move up the chart, because I think they're in tank mode. The Las Vegas Raiders, forget it. they're officially in tank mode. I mean, they just signed that coach. They're talking about he's going to get fired. They're in literal tank mode. And I would be surprised because when it gets to the Cowboys and the Giants game next week, I'm going to be very interested in what both of them do because they're both going to be trying to figure out how do we play a competitive game and lose. Both of them are going to be doing the same thing because I'm telling you something right now. The New York Giants, they do not want to miss out. And I'm going to tell you something about this draft that I'm realizing. You look at what's going on in this draft. I think anybody in this draft, if they're listening to Deion Sanders is already talking about he's not going to let his son go anywhere that he doesn't want him to go. Weather, situations, and it's crazy to me when you start talking about this stuff. Because it's like, how does Deion Sanders control the draft? How does he do it? I mean, I guess they're just going to tell teams, if you draft our son, he's not going to play. I mean, that's the only thing that I could see that you could pull off. But a team could literally draft him no matter what he says. A team could draft him and they would still have the rights to him. So, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. That if I'm the New York Giants, even if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I think it's going to be them, Tennessee, they need a quarterback. The Las Vegas Raiders, they need a quarterback. I think if there's a team that Deion would go coach and they would allow him to be the coach, allow him to get Shedeur Sanders, allow him to bring in the coaching staff he wants. What's going on, Chris DeVault? I believe it's the Raiders. I think the Raiders are the only team that would let Deion do it the way he wants to do it. And yeah, he said it's going to be an Eli Manning thing. If he can do it, the only team that I see letting him do what he wants to do are the Las Vegas Raiders. But I'm going to tell you what I would do. And someone's got a mock draft. I think it's the NFL. And I'm going to tell you, this is exactly what I would do. If I'm these teams right here, see, and I'm going to tell you what I think that the Cowboys should probably do just in a quick instance. Travis Hunter. I didn't even think about this. The Jacksonville Jaguars probably don't. They probably don't bypass Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is going to be a hot commodity in the league. The question is, what does he play? Now, I wouldn't play him at wide receiver. I would allow him to play some wide receiver. I'm not letting him play wide receiver. Because he's definitely not going both ways 100% of the time. It's not happening. Yep, Eli did it with the Chargers and then Elway did it with the Colts. It's doable. And he'll probably pull it off. But for me, I'm going to let him pull it off for this very reason. Because if I'm the New York Giants and you really want Shedeur Sanders, because I think they're the ones who are sitting in the catbird seat. If I'm the New York Giants, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade back. I'm going to find out who's trying to get a quarterback. And I'm going to trade back. And I'm going to get Cam Ward while at the same time picking up another draft pick. That's what I'm going to do. I'll pick up another one if possible, because I'm pretty sure Cleveland Browns, they're not going to get Shedeur. I promise y'all, this is one of the teams that Deion is talking about. He is not letting Shedeur Sanders play for the Cleveland quarterback killer Browns. He's not doing it. They are the quarterback killers. This is where you go to die as a quarterback. They're not letting him do it. So if I'm one of these teams, I'll draft backwards, get Cam Ward, and let them have Shador this year. But you better believe I'm getting both of your number ones. I'm going to get your number one in 2025, and I'm possibly going to get your number one in 2026. That's what I'm doing. Because if Trey Lance went for what he went for, I'm going backwards. I am going backwards, and that's who I'm going to get. Andre, I'm telling you, I'm hearing this Cam Ward kid, and I'll be doing my research after the season, but, man, I'm hearing this Cam Ward kid off the chain. I'm hearing this Cam Ward kid is off the chain. Because if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'll be honest with you, I don't have my eyes anywhere but right here. This is where I have my eyes if I'm the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not letting Ashton Jeanty get away. This is a generational running back. Generational running back. Not only do I believe he's a generational running back, I believe he's the running back that you don't keep him on his rookie deal. This is the type of running back you're going to get 2 deals out of. I believe you're going to get 2 deals. You're going to sign him after that rookie deal. Whoa, Steven R. He is a bust waiting to happen. I'm telling y'all. Folks might not believe me. Lamar Jackson doesn't understand. The best thing that happened to Patrick Mahomes is that he didn't go top in the draft. The best thing that happened to Lamar Jackson, he was crying. Why are you crying? It's pride, bro. You did not want to go to the team at the top of the draft, because if they're the top of the draft, they're at the bottom of the league. You don't want to go to that team. You actually want to go to a team in the draft that actually has a pretty good team, and they don't have to put a lot of pieces. They don't have to go and get a lot of pieces. You don't want them. You don't want to go to a team trading away all the draft picks. How do they build around you? You don't want to go to that team. You want to go to a team that they can put the team around you almost immediately. Guess who was in that situation? Jaden Daniels. He ought to be thankful that he didn't go into the situation like Caleb Williams. While he went to a team that may not have been necessarily good, they had a lot of draft capital. A lot of salary cap money. A good coach, Dan Quinn, Super Bowl coach. Dan Quinn knows football. We can't even play with that. Dan Quinn knows football, y'all. So Dan Quinn comes in and he builds a team immediately around Jaden Daniels. Now, I think we're about to watch the Washington Redskins come back to earth. But nevertheless, he got put in an environment to where they could start building a team. And so my concern, I've been saying this all along, my concern with Shador, he better go to a team that they can put weapons around him. And the thing that I will say about the Raiders, if he goes to the Raiders, they're going to probably let his dad do what he wants to do with the coaching staff. But the problem is, you mess around and get Shador, because I don't care what anyone says, if I got the top 3 draft, if I'm top 3 in the draft, and I know you want, and I talked about this yesterday, I know there's a quarterback that you want. Somebody got to tell me. Y'all tell me this. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm dumb to this. How much better than Cam Ward is Shador Sanders? Jay Recruiter, what's going on? How much better is Shedeur Sanders than Cam Ward? How much better? I would really have to weigh that out because y'all tell me I don't watch college football. I need to be asking my son George III. I don't watch college football like that. But I'm just wondering if I'm not mistaken, isn't Cam Ward playing better competition than Shedeur Sanders? Am I crazy? But isn't Cam Ward playing better competition than Shedeur Sanders? Because I'll give you the rank they have right now. This is the rank they have right now. Because I'm telling you, let me see what, let me see. Let me go back to, maybe y'all can help me with some of the stuff I'm talking about. Andre says, what if Dallas gets the pick to get Sanders? Do you trade and pick and get more picks? Yep, because I've already signed my quarterback. I'm not signing Shedeur. I'm not signing Shedeur Sanders because there's a question that needs to be asked also. I was talking to myself today and I said, what does Deion look like without Shedeur? That's what I want to see. I want to see what Deion looks like without Shedeur, Travis, and Shiloh. I want to see what he looks like because that's going to be the true test of Deion Sanders. What does he look like? I want to know what Shedeur. I know what Shiloh going to look like. I think I got a good mind of what Shiloh. I think with Shiloh, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. I think he's going to have to put on a little bit of weight to play in the pros. Probably work on his technique a little bit. But I think Shiloh, somebody's going to probably get a diamond in the rough. Probably better get him in the 4th or the 5th. And then you let him kind of work his way in. Shiloh probably going to be a stud in about 3 to 4 years. He'll probably be a stud in about 3 to 4. Probably be a really good safety for somebody. Shedeur, excellent quarterback. Great arm, anything you want. But he has a plethora of weapons around him. And with any quarterback, I don't care who he is, it matters the system that he comes in. It matters the coach that he has. It matters what's around him. And so for me, I'm concerned about what are they going to put around him. Will they be able to do that in the pros? So I understand what you're saying, that he's a bust waiting to happen. Stephen R. says he's a bust waiting to happen. Because I'll be better. Jerry better draft Ashton Genty. I'm with you. Because Andre says Cam Ward is good. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, look at this right here. Cam Ward is who they got ranked as the number 1 quarterback. And if I know that there are teams that are, quote unquote, Sanders crazy, oh, you want Deion? You want that? You want that circus? You want Deion and Shedeur? And I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but it's going to be a circus. Deion, my favorite football player of all time. I didn't start watching Colorado the Deion hit there. There's a lot of people didn't start watching Colorado the Deion get there. Deion come to your team. You think the Dallas Cowboys in the news all the time? They'll be right behind the Cowboys. Deion Sanders will be news every single week. Every single week. Every single week. But if you look at who they got ranked number 1, it's Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the number 1 quarterback. So if I know there are some teams that are absolutely Sanders crazy, I'll let you have them. But you're going to give me your number. You're going to give me your number 1 for the next 2 seasons. I'm going to cripple your team. You're going to find out that you're going to have to build your team through free agency. And anything other than the 1st and the 2nd. I'll take two number 2. I'll take two number 1s, a number 2, and maybe even a 4th or a 5th. But I'm going to cripple your draft. When you find teams that want a quarterback extremely bad, you give them what they want. Give them what they want. They got Dylan Gabriel at number 2. Some of y'all might know who he is. Jackson Dart, number 3, Ole Miss. Will Howard, number 4. Kurt Rourke, number 5. Shedeur Sanders, number 6. Now, I know why they have them in these order. Why they have them in this order. Because for the most part, these other quarterbacks are playing better competition. They're playing better competition. What if Dallas gets Sanders? Yeah, I'm going to get more picks for him. I'm going to get who I want because I'm getting Ashton Jeanty. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get Ashton Jeanty. And if I can pull off getting Ashton Jeanty and another pick or 2, oh, no, I'm doing that. I am doing that. I think the Raiders are going to get him. I think that's who's going to get him. Jerry's not drafting this kid because he's a horrible he's a horrible GM. Get Ashton Jeanty, please. He is good. Man, I ain't praying about football like that, but I am praying. I'm praying they get this dude, man. I think a running back changes this. I think the running back alone changes this team. I don't think Jerry would draft a running back in the first round. Zeke left a bad taste in his mouth. Man, I hope somebody get it out of his mouth because I'm telling you, Jeanty, man, Jerry set us up nice. Our top coaches are one-year deals. Who's going to bang on the table for him to get this young man? Please let somebody be talking about get this man. Please. Please get this man. Andre says Ward has a better arm. Okay. You can tell me if you agree with me or not. I think Jerry Jones didn't want to let go of Jimmy Johnson, but his ego got the best of him. That's why he let Jimmy go. Man, Chris, can you imagine that conversation they were having? Jimmy probably told him, the only reason why we winning. Boy, that probably cut Jerry to his heart. That probably cut Jerry to his heart, Chris. Jerry, you know how you do when you start playing the dozens with somebody, and they say something so bad that you got to resort to the lowest. You got to resort to the lowest thing you can say. And Jerry said the lowest thing he could say. Anybody could take this team to the Super Bowl. You know what the problem is? Of course they could because Jimmy built it. That's what Jimmy should have said. Of course they can because I built it. I built it that way. Jimmy should have came back with another insult. Jimmy should have said, yeah, even you could take this team to the Super Bowl. That's what I would have told him. That's what I would have told him. Ward is a better athlete with better arm talent. Okay, appreciate you, Steven. Appreciate you. Cowboys will get Shiloh. Andre, I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. This is the Sanders that I believe that Jerry has on his draft board, and I think this is the Sanders that Jerry's going to get. That's the Sanders he's going to get. Shedeur Sanders is not going to be drafted by the Cowboys. I don't believe so either. Tyson going to win tomorrow. Man, let me tell you something. You talk about Mike Tyson? Boy. Niecy said the lowest is your mama. Hey, for a coach. Hey, man, for a coach. I don't know. It may be something lower than your mama. Maybe something lower than your mama, boy, because he hit Jimmy in the gut. Man, if Tyson don't knock this, a brother of mine at church talking about that this dude can box. You know, talking about whoever that dude that's boxing Tyson. I forgot his name. Logan Paul said he said Logan Paul can box. Man, I don't care how good Logan Paul can box. If Mike Tyson go in this thing fighting how I know Tyson can fight, even in his 50s, man, they go have to get an ambulance out on Logan Paul because Mike Tyson gonna knock this man's brains literally out. Lewis Bailey said he still has an ego problem. That's why he has a losing season. Yeah, and I want to show you something, man. My problem is that Ashton Jeanty may have jinxed himself. Ashton Jeanty may have jinxed himself because I don't really know of any player that has actually said what Ashton Jeanty is about to say and has made it to the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all listen to this. See if we can get the sound right.
You mentioned the NFL, obviously, right now you projected, I mean, I don't even know if this is legit. In my head, he projected
The mock
top 10.
drafts.
If you could script it exactly how you wanted to.
If I could script it, my family's all in Texas.
Okay.
Family being there, all the connections, all the relationships, I feel like that would just be the perfect city to play in.
Jerry Jones, make the call.
Hey, you know what to do,
Jerry
man.
Jones, make the call. You mentioned
Kids begging to come to Dallas. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, the memes are out there. This isn't innuendo. This isn't rumor. This isn't conjecture. Ashton Jeanty wants to come to the Dallas Cowboys. He's begging. He want to play in his backyard. He's begging to play for the Cowboys. Jerry, what are you going to do? Somebody has got to talk to Jerry Jones. Somebody's got to talk to Jerry Jones. I'm not even asking Jerry to play his hand. I don't care if you have to pretend you don't want this kid. I don't know if y'all remember. Keith Rivera said if we get Ashton Jeanty, Dak will shine because the play action game will be back and CeeDee Lamb will eat again because the season is a warp. Oh, man, we're going to have that last play schedule too. Going to have that last play schedule. Mike, as of late, has been real quiet as a coach. He's not hyping. He's not like hyping up the team. Man, Mike trying to get fired, bro. He want to get out of here. Jake Paul is getting knocked out by Tyson Perry. He better get knocked out. Jerry loves when you beg him. Ah, man, somebody better beg him. T-Mac to compliment CeeDee Lamb and Jeanty and Jones better go all in when it comes to free agency. Look at the balance. The Eagles have picked up 2 great athletes and signed Gardner and Saquon. Guys, don't let Jerry fool y'all. Jerry can do all of this and still manage that salary cap. He's begging, and he's from Boise State. Man, Eagles picked 2 great corners. Man, there is no excuse. Everybody keeps saying it's Dak's contract. Nope. It's not Dak's contract. It's Jerry's mind. That's all it is. The Dallas Cowboys, there's no reason why they're bad. There's no reason why they're bad. And now with what they've done to this team is set up. A lot of people don't realize it. This team is actually set up to win sooner rather than later. Because most teams like the Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, and some of these teams, they're going to be rebuilding from the quarterback to the wide receiver to all these different things. The Cowboys actually not building like that. Because if you look at the pieces the Cowboys already have, I don't think their line is bad necessarily. I think they have the wrong line out there, and I think they should put the right line out there for the remainder of the year and go ahead and let them start gelling. You don't have to worry about it now. Your quarterback can't get killed. He's already out with surgery. We ain't worried about Cooper Rush. I'm not saying it in a mean way. Cooper Rush on the last year of his deal. I'm not signing Cooper Rush to more than a 1-year deal anyway. I'm not even signing if we get Trey Lance. I'm not signing him to more than a 1-year deal because if I don't sign Dak's replacement next season, because I don't think you need to do it in 2025. You need to be looking at Dak's replacement in 2027. That's what I would do. And if you plan on letting Dak walk in 2027, you're going to let him play out 2027 and cut him for 2028, then you need to get that quarterback not 2025, you get him in 2026. But I think we're going to see Dak for at least the next, the minimum is 3, but I think we're going to see him for a 4th and possibly longer depending upon how he's playing. But I'm going to go ahead and draft Dak's replacement in a couple of years anyway, so I'm not worried about Cooper Rush. So I'm letting him play his brains out. I don't care what happens. I'm going to put that line out there now, and I want to see what they look like. And I'm going to put Rico Dowdle behind that line. Can you stay healthy? Because if you can stay healthy, Rico, I'm not going to hurt your feelings, but you're not going to be my number 1 back. Ashton Jeanty will be my number 1 back. You'll be my number 2 back. Amakai, what's going on? I agree. Jerry should never be running football. He has no idea. My question is, who will be the next coach? I want that offensive coordinator from Detroit. Oh, yeah, we've been talking about him ad nauseum. Ben Johnson, I'm bringing him in. I'd bring him in. I definitely would bring him in. I would even be willing to I'm just saying me, I would be willing to even let Mike McCarthy stay on a year. I'd sign Mike McCarthy for a 2-year extension. But behind closed doors, it'd be a 1-year extension. I just tell Mike, hey, we're gonna give you, we'll give you 10 for 2. We're gonna give you $10 million for 2 years, but we're gonna do you a favor. It's actually $10 million for 1 year. Because you're gonna train Ben, you're gonna just show Ben Johnson the ropes, and then we're gonna let you go, and Ben's gonna be our coach. I mean, I'd be willing to do that. Cooper Rush wouldn't start for a Pee Wee team. Hey, guess what? We're about to see. Because Cooper Rush about to hit that open market. So all this talk about Cooper Rush, well, we about to see. I mean, we about to see who wants Cooper Rush. Because, people keep talking about how good he is. And, they're doubling down. They're doubling down now talking about he had a strained neck. And in reality, they're really giving him an excuse to fail again. Because if he fail again, because I keep hearing people pile on talking about, that's not the Cooper Rush we remember. Well, I do. It's the Cooper Rush I remember because I looked at the game and I looked at the stats. That's exactly the Cooper Rush we saw the last 2 games against the Rams and the Eagles. That was the Cooper Rush we saw. Our problem is we're in La La Land. And then I saw this. Let me see if this is still on here. I just saw this in the Cowboys news. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what in the world is this? I don't know if y'all heard about this. Jay Army, what's going on? I don't know if y'all heard about this. What's going on, Hurricane? I do not know if y'all heard about this. Jay Recruiter, some people are still thinking the Cooper Rush can make a playoff run. You know what? It sounds like to me that's what they talking about too, including Jerry. This is a personal question. Who is your favorite Dallas Cowboy running back of all time? Ooh. Jay Army. Boy, that's a hard question. Whew. Tony Dorsett was crazy with it. Man, I mean, people do not understand, man. Tony Dorsett was crazy with it. Pure runner, Tony Dorsett. All around running back, Emmitt Smith defied all odds. Wasn't the fastest, wasn't the biggest, but he had a great offensive line. Whew, man. Them 90s Cowboys are crazy. I'd have to boil it down to Emmitt and Dorsett. That's the best I could do. If we get Ashton Jitty and a good old line, we will be best in the league next year. I think the line is already there. They just need to start playing it so that they can see exactly what it is. Because this kid, this Awesome Richards, yeah. Move Tyler Guyton to the right side. Tyler Bass, I think the line is already here. They just need to play it, see what it looks like, and then decide if we need to add one more piece. I'm actually tired of them building the offensive line, though. Depending on how this season goes, I'm not sure you will make it. Our schedule is very difficult on 2 easy teams on the schedule, Carolina and Giants. Them the only teams I think we got a chance at winning. The rest of them, they'll be in playoff contention, so they're going to be in playoff mode. Andre said, no more Mike McCarthy. Cooper Rush is going to be USF failing. Man, wait a minute. Watch this. Jose, let me tell you something. Zeke was nasty in that first year. Boy, this Genty kid, boy, he doing stuff at the top. What Zeke was doing at all. Zeke was killing it at Ohio State. Man, this Genty kid looking better than Zeke. Man, y'all ready to have y'all mind blown? Man, I saw this come across the wire and I said, what the what? What is this? Look at this, y'all. Mike McCarthy already linked to new team after inevitable Cowboys departure. What? They're saying that Mike McCarthy is tied. This is my first time seeing this. I didn't get a chance to read it. It says, Jeff Holt, the Athletic, took a look at the coaching landscape for the 2025 season. There he predicted that McCarthy would be a top candidate for the New York Jets. Hold on a second. You telling me that Aaron Rodgers would want to be reunited with Mike McCarthy? I ain't believing it. I said it like I said it. I ain't believing that. I ain't believing it. On paper, this makes a lot of sense. The New York Jets has been one of the biggest disappointments of the season, sitting at 3-7 with no hopes of making the postseason. They already fired Robert Saleh midseason and currently have interim Jeff Ulbrich in charge. Aaron Rodgers has recently expressed his desire to play for at least one more season. However, Mike McCarthy, who worked with him for over a decade in Green Bay and helped him win his only Super Bowl, makes plenty of sense. How is this tied to the New York Jets? How is this tied to the New York Jets? Who in the Jets organization is saying that this is what they want? I bet you if you ask Aaron Rodgers, he wouldn't agree to this. Ain't no way. Aaron Rodgers was one of the main reasons they ran him out of town. Amakai says Will Grier looked great in the preseason. He might have a chance. Let me tell you something, Amakai. There is no way Jerry Jones lets Will Grier hit that field. Will Grier hit that field? I'm just going to be honest with you. I think they have a chance to win. There were a lot of people who said that Will Grier was better than Cooper Rush, and that it's because Jerry Jones likes Cooper Rush that he stayed on the team. A lot of people said Will Grier, I played him. I think Will Grier gives you the best of both worlds when it comes to Cooper Rush and Cooper Rush and our man Trey Lance. Cooper Rush can't run like Trey Lance, but he got some wheels on him. It's not as fast as Trey Lance, but he still got wheels on him. I believe he can throw better than Cooper Rush. And I think he gives you a better chance to win. I think he gives you a better chance to win than probably both of these quarterbacks. So for that very reason, Will Grier is not hitting that field. He is an emergency. I would put Guyton where Zach Martin is. Exactly. I would too. Yep, we need weapons. I'm tired of them dealing with this offensive line nonsense. This is the craziest thing. Mike McCarthy still thinks of how he was calling plays when he was a coach of Green Bay Packers. Man, ain't no way. I don't believe for a second nobody's looking for Mike McCarthy. Nisi said, based on principle, I'm not coaching Rodgers. That too, Nisi. Goes both ways, doesn't it? No way. I'm not coaching Rodgers, and if I'm Rodgers, I don't want no part of Mike McCarthy. The thing that I don't understand is why is Will Grier constantly being bounced around? He's a good quarterback, but why does no team want him for a long time? I'm with you, Jay Army. Every time you see him in the preseason, he looks good. I haven't seen anything to me that would warrant, unless they're seeing something in practice that they're saying, y'all don't understand, this dude is terrible. I mean, maybe they're seeing some stuff that we're not seeing, but everything I've seen, he looks pretty good to me. He looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, he looks pretty good every time we see him in the preseason. So I bet you this, they don't want him on that field. They don't, because he's going to give him a chance to win. Because you know why? He's going to be playing for a job. Will Grier wants to prove to this league he's good enough. They don't want him on that field. He'll be out there, man. He'll be out there slinging it. Especially once you put Mingo out there, man. Man, they don't want to see that boy. Hurricane Johnson said, "Imagine they both get hurt on Monday, and Will Grier makes the playoffs." Hey, man. They don't want to see. They don't want to see Will Greer out there, man. They don't want to see Will Greer out there. I'm telling you, man. They don't want to see Will Greer out there. Will Greer go out there and throw 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you, they do not want to see Will Greer out there. I agree. Keith Rivera. I saw where Brian Broader said that. Yeah. Ashton Jeanty is better than Bijan Robinson. At least to me, he is. This is a generational talent running back again. You're not going to get this opportunity again. You pass on this one, man, you deserve everything you get. Everything you get if you pass on Ashton Jeanty, especially if he's there for the taking. You better not let him go. The Cowboys need to run game bad. You can't go against someone's, how you scout them. If you know that Dak Prescott is a play action quarterback, why would you try to make him into a pocket passer? Does anybody not realize the GM for the Detroit Lions, he understood the assignment? The GM for the Detroit Lions understands the assignment. Y'all know what he understands? Brad Holmes understands what Jared Goff is. He doesn't think Jared Goff is Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. You name your top quarterbacks. This is what I keep telling folks, they don't understand football. You don't need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. You just need a capable quarterback, a capable to good quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Dak is better than both of those. He's better than capable. He's better than good. He's better than average. Dak Prescott, holistically, not this season, Dak Prescott has been consistently at the top of every quarterback stat in the league. Winning, completion percentage, touchdowns, yards in the air. The only thing that has not translated yet are the playoff wins. And if we go back, we can blame, I'm with anybody with the San Francisco stuff. San Francisco just got Dallas's number. They just got their number. They're a juggernaut. They keep going to the Super Bowl. But if you look at the Green Bay game, not the Green Bay, if you look at the Green Bay, the first one, not Dak's fault. The Rams, not really Dak's fault. The Green Bay game, the second one, that was the team's fault. Dak played a part, but that defense couldn't do anything. But I'm just saying all that to say this. This guy right here, if there's an award for GM of the year, Brad Holmes deserves it. Brad Holmes for the Detroit Lions deserves, he absolutely deserves to be the GM of the year. When you look at what this man, I want y'all to understand what he did. He evaluated the talent. He said, I know who Jared Goff is. I know who he isn't. So rather than me complaining about Jared Goff isn't this and Jared Goff isn't that, Jared Goff is this is what he need, let me go out and get it. Man, this dude said not only one running back, he went out and got him 2. Man, I'm sorry. This dude right here, everything that he's done, y'all, this man, it is absolutely crazy. Look at what it says about him. Look at what it says about him. Watch this. So this same guy, let me make sure. I want to make sure I'm speaking facts. Make sure I'm speaking facts. So I want to look at real quick, and then we're gonna move on from this guy. I'm just giving you an example, so we can understand what we're looking at. So we can understand what we're looking at with this guy. Let me see. I was trying to find, if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking that he was with the Rams when they won their last Super Bowl. Let me make sure. Let me see if his years overlap. Last Rams Super Bowl win. Okay, so was that... Okay, that was 23. Okay, that was 2022, right? That was 2022. I was just trying to make sure with his Super Bowl, did it overlap? Because I'm saying all that to say, I want you to look at what his resume looks like. Okay, so he was with them 2020. So he wasn't in that. But he came in, it looks like in 2021. I want to make sure I was right on that or wrong on that. So he came in and they began reshaping the roster in 2021. So it says here, placing an emphasis on players with grit, passion, and football character, Holmes has enhanced the Lions roster through precision in every phase of the talent acquisition process as he enters his fourth season as executive vice president and general manager. His combination of draft success. Now, don't you wish that we would do this? Let me read this again. Place an emphasis on players with grit. You know what they're talking about? Dog. Passion. They're talking about dog. Football character. Dog again. Want to win. He enhanced the roster through precision. You know what it's telling us? He evaluated all the talent. He evaluated what he had. What did he need? Look at this. Holmes' combination of draft success, strategic free agent signings built a roster that achieved historic success in 2023. The team finished with a 12-5 record, tying the franchise record for the most wins in a single season. The team also clinched the division title for the first time in 30 years, appeared in their second ever NFC championship game, their first since 1991. He was named PFWA Executive of the Year for the work he did in 2023, becoming the first Detroit Lion to win the award during the 2024 offseason. Don't talk to me about the Dallas Cowboys and their salary cap. This man pulled off re-signing core players Jared Goff, Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown to long-term contracts. Then on his rookie, you could just go and read this on your own. I'm just telling you. This dude here, he understood the assignment. He knows who his quarterback is, and he signed to the strengths of his quarterback. That's what he did. And that's what the Cowboys, I wish they would go and do. Yeah, no doubt. The Cowboys need a running back. The GM for the Detroit is always working. They always show him with a notebook and evaluating. Ours is always eating a sandwich. That's it. Put Ashton and Rico in the same backfield would be straight fire. Yeah, I'm keeping Rico. Pull up Ashton Genty stats. Yeah, I know. I've already seen them. Them things is Ashton Genty, man. Ashton Genty got them video game stats, don't he? He got them video game stats. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm not letting Ashton Genty. I'm sorry, man. I just not letting Ashton Genty get up out of here, bro. That's just too much for me. That is just too much for me. It looks like right here, if this is current, 6.3 yards a carry, 889 yards, 142 attempts, and 10 touchdowns. Boy is nasty, boy. Oh, okay, wait, let me go to the top. I was looking at the conference. Regular season, 224 carries, 1,734 yards, 23 touchdowns, 7.7 yards a carry. What's going on, Heavy Chevy / Cowboy politics? Gosh. Could you imagine this dude being on the Cowboys? Golly, boy. Woo. Boy, you want to talk about crazy. Insanity. Yeah, I would love to have, I would absolutely love to have him on the squad. I'm sorry, you just can't let this dude go. I mean, you can't let this dude go. I'm gonna look you up, Cowboys Politics. That's what I was doing on my screen so I can make sure I've subscribed to you. I'm telling us, you just can't let this guy go. Dak is better than Cooper Rush. Jerry and Steven know that. Again, it goes back to the ego, getting the best of Jerry and Steven because his ego is his worst enemy. Oh yeah, they need to get this dude. They need to get this dude some players. You and Law Nation begin blessing us with the Cowboys content. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully, I can hook up with Law Nation in the future. Man, I'm telling you, I'm not letting this kid Genty get out of here. I'm just not letting him get away from me. Nah, this dude's a game changer. This dude's a game changer, y'all. Genty is going to change life if he comes to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I'm scared because it makes too much sense. I mean, it just makes too much sense to get him. This dude's going to change life. I'm not worried about all this hype stuff. I'm not going to fool with the whole Sanders thing. I think it's just too much. I think it's too many. It's too many problems, y'all. It's just the pressure, the press coverage. I mean, this team already has a ton of it. It would just be multiplied times 10 with Deion Sanders. Nah, man, I would rather somebody else get Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to watch him when he comes to the league. I'm a big fan. But I don't want him on the Cowboys. I don't want the whole Deion Sanders thing because it's literally a recipe for disaster. I mean, you think the expectations are high now. I mean, they get Deion Sanders, man, people be talking about the Super Bowl. I mean, they would literally be talking about the Super Bowl, I mean, the same season, if not the next. So, no. I would rather the Dallas Cowboys some kind of way stay the course and see if they can actually get Ashton Genty and start building this team. So I want to cover these a couple other things because I want to make sure everybody gets to watch the game because I'm going to be back after the game. So I'm going to kind of rush it through it a little bit here. We already kind of talked about this whole Trey Lance package. I mean, it is literally the most boring package in the world, but I'm going to read you something here in a moment as it pertains to this. But there's something about the Cooper Rush thing. I mean, are we really believing that Jerry Jones is believing that Cooper Rush is going to beat the Houston Texans? I mean, because there is talk that the Cowboys are going to beat the Houston Texans. I mean, we're going to look at this tomorrow in depth. They're talking about the Cowboys beating the Houston Texans because it's not, it wasn't the right, the Cooper Rush we saw was not the real Cooper Rush. Who was it? Did somebody possess his body? And they're blaming it on a neck strain. So is his neck still strained? Because he's already been announced as a starter. And so I'm wondering, like, are we really saying that Cooper Rush, we're really saying that the Dallas Cowboys are going to try and win? We're saying they're going to try to win out? I mean, what are y'all thoughts on this? I thought this when I saw it. I was like, is somebody on drugs again? What are we talking about winning out? Oh, Andre, you better believe it'll make up for the Derrick Henry miss by times 10. Jerry worried about eating Whataburger and then putting a team around Dak Prescott. Man, no doubt. What's going on, J. Bill? We should let Trey start instead of Cooper Rush. I'm in total agreement. Cowboys need to concentrate on football only. Get back to the basics. And this is why I'm wondering too, and I'm gonna talk about this more after these next 3 games. But I wonder if the Cowboys go ahead and let Cooper Rush go. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, not Cooper Rush. If they go ahead and let Mike McCarthy go, or does Mike McCarthy resign? Because I just see a scenario where they get their brains stomped out. And so I just don't know how much of that can he take. I mean, man, a man has pride. I mean, how much can you take getting beat? Whew, man, that's tough. That is absolutely tough. And the reason why I'm asking this, because there's another article that I want you to see. Trey Lance. Trey Lance says something here that's absolutely crazy to me. Nah, Jose, they're not putting in Will Grier. They're not doing that. I'm telling you, Will Grier hit that field. The Cowboys got a chance to win. Will Grier will come out there and not get the memo, and Will Grier will be slinging that ball all over the place. He will. I don't see us winning another game. I mean, well, let me show you what Trey Lance is saying. It says here, Trey Lance offers insanely puzzling analysis of the Cowboys season. This is Trey Lance. I think in all of our losses across the board, this is Trey Lance, y'all. There hasn't been too many games where we felt like a team was just better than us, really. Any game, honestly, Lance said. What is Trey Lance doing on the sideline? We might need to check all of Trey Lance's equipment. Check the smelling salts. Check the smelling salts. Trey Lance said he doesn't believe that there has been any team better than them. He didn't just say than us, really. He said any game, honestly. That's an honest statement? Wait a minute. This is even more strange. He says we have a lot of weapons, a great coaching staff, and guys that put us in positions to be successful. So for us, it's just our job to go out and execute. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me read this again, because maybe y'all not catching this. Nisi said Jerry got to him. He knows about the rebuild. Nisi, Jerry did more than get to him. Jerry must have promised this man a position on this team next year. Jerry must have told this man, if no one picks you up, man, we're gonna bring you back and pay you $6 million over 2 years or something. Let me read this again. Trey Lance said with a straight face, I think, and let me not say with a straight face, because maybe he was trying to hold back the laughter. I think in all of our losses across the board, there hasn't been too many games where we felt like as a team, where we felt like a team was just better than us, really. Any game, honestly, Lance said. I think that with the guys we have in this locker room, especially on offense, we have a lot of weapons, great coaching staff, and guys that put us in position to be successful. Can y'all tell me who them guys are that's put them in position to be successful? What is Trey Lance talking about? It's our job to execute. Maybe that's why he's not on the field. Wait a minute, I know what it is. I know what it is, y'all. He trying to get on the field, J. Bill. He trying to get on the field. Yeah, he better not pass on Genty, Chris. That's why Trey is a backup. The only weapon on offense is CD Lamb. Man, come on, man. I just cannot believe Trey Lance is saying this. I would love to see what he. Wait a minute. And so the person that wrote this, let me go back and see who the person is writing this again, because I got to give him credit for his response. Oh, it's Mike Fisher. So Mike Fisher retorts. Mike Fisher says, not many teams have been better than the Cowboys with a question mark. He says, actually, by rule, 6 teams have already beaten the Cowboys, so there's that. And the manner of defeats and their severity, they show a clear gap between Dallas and the teams they have faced. Look at this right here. 44-17. The New Orleans Saints have a worse record than us, but they beat us 47-9. The 44-17. The Lions beat us 47-9. The Baltimore Ravens, 28-25. Philadelphia, 34-6. And in those games alone by score, Dallas was the inferior team. And the Cowboys were also inferior in the losses to San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's another set of numbers detailing the Dallas' work at home. In their last 5 games in Arlington, they have trailed by 32 to the Green Bay Packers, 25 to the Saints, 22 to the Ravens, and 38 to the Lions, and 28 to the Eagles. That is the ugliest non-competitive stretch in franchise storied history. In fact, the Cowboys are the only team in NFL history to trail by 20-plus points in 5 consecutive games. You want another telling stat? The Cowboys come out of the locker room at halftime and get murdered every time. Dallas in third quarters this year has been outscored 82-22. That's incredible. Okay. I see why Trey Lance is not on the field now. That's all I can tell you. But Trey Lance said that, man, he either trying to get on the field, man, or all I can tell you is he trying to get on the field. Because I don't believe he believed that for a second. I do not believe he believes that for a second. And so I'm asking y'all again as I get ready to close out here, because I want y'all to catch the game and I want you to catch the beginning, because I'm coming back for the post-game show and I'm going to be talking about what could have been, and I'm hoping we're going to be talking about Dan Quinn getting beat. But there's another story going around too. And I'm trying to figure this stuff all out, because we're literally like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It says in this article, the Cowboys revealing new plan for Jonathan Mingo and Brandon Cooks. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy says Brandon Cooks is edging closer to a return to action, and Jonathan Mingo says he's in the mix for Monday night against the Texans. I mean, what's the plan? What's the plan? So we're 3-6. So we're saying that when Brandon Cooks come back, we're actually going for a run. McCarthy said he's getting close. The communication from the training room in our meeting, McCarthy said he's feeling better. This is Brandon Cooks. I know he's chomping at the bit to get out there, but he's one of our team's leaders, let alone in the wide receiver room, so he's definitely been missed. After perhaps the worst offensive performances under Mike McCarthy since he arrived in Dallas against the Eagles, getting Cooks back would be a welcome boost for a team that is struggling to keep its head above water. For Rush only having Lamb and possibly Jake Ferguson as consistent weapons in the passing game, getting Cooks back gives the offense the deep threat element that has been sorely lacking over the last month. Of course, McCarthy didn't state when Brandon might return, but the fact that he's getting close is a good sign, and he'd surely like to help beat his old Texas team. But with the Cowboys season nosediving south, by the time the veteran gets healthy enough to suit up, playoffs might be out of the equation. As Domingo, he is a second player after having been a second-round pick in Carolina when he accomplished nothing. Dallas gave up a fourth-round pick to bring him here and immediately announced there would be special packages installed to take advantage of his 6'2", 220-pound frame. Let me translate what let me translate what the Jonathan Mingo package is. Throw the ball to Mingo. That's the package. I don't call that a package, but that's going to be the package. And so Mingo apparently suggested to the media that he's in play for the Monday night game, and that can't hurt, right? Though given the kind of year it's been for the Cowboys, it would be a typical Dallas thing to have reinforcements arrive after the season loss. What are we talking about? So they're telling us that the Cowboys have not given up on the season and that they're still fighting to get to the playoffs. Is that what we're saying? Jay Bill said Lance is delusional. Nisa said he thinks he's still in San Francisco. Man, yeah, he wants to play, Jay Bill. We think is the plan. We got a Lance package, a Mingo package, and Brandon Cooks. We're looking forward to him coming back. So you're telling me we're going for the win? I mean, we're mathematically still in it. I mean, we are. But my question is, so you're telling me we're still, let me tell y'all something. And I'm not even being mean. But if you're telling me that we're about to go out and we can literally smell Ashton Genty. I mean, we can smell Genty. We can smell Genty. You're telling me that we're going to go from number 11 and we're going to try to fall all the way back into, or we're going to try to remain at number 11, or we're going to try to move backwards, 13, 14. We're going to try to do that? That's crazy work to me. That is crazy work to me. I say this. We better be evaluating these guys. We better be evaluating these guys, but we better not start trying to move backwards in the draft. This season, I mean, unless I'm crazy and we're going to win the rest of these games, this season is over. Cowboys need to start evaluating talent. They can call it anything they want to. Don't even call it tanking. We're evaluating talent. We're getting ready for next year. You can do whatever you want to do, but do not come up in here and start clowning, talking about you trying to win. What's going on, Sam? My son's right now probably saying pause. So let me not saying we can smell him, but we can definitely see him on the horizon. Man, something wrong with these boys. Something wrong with the Cowboys. There's just something not right this season. Keith Rivera said, Mingo go have 3 catches. That's a special package. Man, this is crazy talk right now. Andre said they're selling hope. Man, this is crazy talk right now. This is crazy. I've never seen nothing like this. This is crazy. I love the Cowboys, but we aren't going anywhere. I mean, this is crazy talk, y'all. This is crazy talk. I think we might better perform a drug. We might better perform a drug test on all these players, man. They are flat out tripping. They got me laughing, man. It's so funny, man. Neezy said we have all these packages, no running back packages, just rebuild. For real, though. Dalvin needs a package, too. I mean, everybody needs a package, man. Man. This is funny to me. Y'all tell me who y'all got tonight. Who do y'all got between The Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. I want to say the Dallas Cowboys. Who do y'all got tonight? Washington Commanders or the Philadelphia Eagles? I think the Washington Commanders are going to I think the Philadelphia Eagles are about to bring the Washington Commanders back to reality. We're already watching them kind of land now. So I think it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. What do y'all think? I'm with you, Andre. This is why I'm still rolling with my boys. It's just not our year. They're gonna win despite Jerry Jones if he put a few things around him. And Roberto said the drug of choice is. Man. Coaches gotta go. Yep, I think they all gonna go. Keith Rivera said Washington. But I see Andre, he done went back old school on those Redskins. Y'all know that the Indians want that name back? I wouldn't be surprised they get it back. Washington Cowboys or the Eagles? I'm picking the Eagles tonight, for sure. I'm picking the Eagles tonight. Oh, Nisa, you you said the Washington Cowboys because Dan Quinn done picked all our players. Yep. I'm picking them Eagles tonight. I want them to knock the Cowboys. The Cowboys. I want them to watch. I want them to knock the Washington Cowboys smooth off because that's exactly what they are. Eagles. LaQueen said if I must. Yep, Commanders. I hate to say it. Nisa, you said them Eagles gonna fly? Yeah, Jalen. Hey man, Jalen is quietly having a really good season. And you keep on playing around, Jalen Hurts is going to sneak into that MVP race towards the end if he stays as consistent as he's been. Jalen Hurts is quietly playing, and I say quietly because no one's talking about him. He's quietly playing extremely well. He is. So that's going to do it for me. That's going to be my time. I'm coming back after the game, and we're going to talk about this game and just talk about what we see compared to what we used to be and what could have been. We're going to talk about all of these things if y'all are still up. But I'm about to go order me a pizza, sit back, and watch the Philadelphia Eagles beat the brakes off of the Washington Commanders. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. And I'll see you soon if you're up. Let's talk, Cowboys. Well, we talk facts. Peace.